Hello and welcome to the latest Galactic report. Today is Friday, 14th March 2025, and we have arrived at one of the key cosmic events in March 2025. Of course, I'm talking about the blood moon, the full moon lunar eclipse that happened today, just a couple of hours before this report. And before I talk about this a bit more, I want to make you aware of something that feels like a precursor of the blood moon. Because heavy rain turned the Iranian island of Hormuz red, and it is something that feels like already a red flow that has started a couple of days ago and has now culminated in a blood moon. In this case, in Hormuz Island, in the Strait of Hormuz in Iran, the red color is not a mystery, but it is due to the high concentration of iron oxide in the soil. But the heavy rains that have occurred show impressive images of this red flood of consciousness, maybe. And now the red moon, the red full moon, is manifesting that for all of us. It is interesting how these events occur in pairs in a way, and it is worth noting for sure that it is not a coincidence. Let's talk about the lunar eclipse in Virgo, which happened today. And in order for you to understand what I'm talking about, I'm sharing the lunar eclipse chart for all of you. As usual, I cast it for Berlin, Germany, where I live. So except for those who live in Germany, please do not consider the houses, but all the other alignments are collective. You can see here moon at 23 degrees, nearly 24 degrees Virgo. And on the opposite side of the wheel, you can find sun again as moon at 23:56 degrees Pisces on the opposite side of the wheel, and that is necessary for two things to happen. One is the full moon, and the other is the eclipse that is happening because Earth, you can imagine Earth being here in the middle and casting a shadow on the moon. And because there is still a bit of light reflecting from the sun, we have this beautiful phenomenon of the blood moon here. So what does the blood moon reveal to us? The March 2025 opens very powerful portals for healing, transformation, and realignment. And eclipses always work deep into our consciousness. So it is not a question of invitation like many other transits in astrology, but eclipses really urge us to look very clearly and without blinkers at the topics that they shine their light on or cast their shadow on. The spring lunar eclipse takes place in Virgo, as I said, near the south lunar node, and it highlights themes of earth healing, order in any aspects of our lives, and letting go of old patterns of control. So I invite you all to look in your own charts and find 23 degrees Virgo, which is here. And on the opposite side of the wheel, 23 degrees of Pisces. And then you will find in which houses the eclipse falls. And this highlights the life areas, the archetypical life areas where these topics occur for you personally. So again, earth healing, order in your life, and letting go of old patterns, not only of control, but old patterns of behavior, really. So the lunar eclipse invites us to rediscover our inner harmony and take responsibility for our connection to our bodies and to nature more consciously and more seriously. The eclipse can bring very surprisingly sometimes and very spontaneously deep-seated patterns from previous incarnations too. So where are you still holding on to perfectionism, micromanagement, or even martyrdom? What old patterns are hindering your true harmony between body, mind, and soul, but also to nature itself? And do you feel like you really belong to Earth? Are you really grounded in Earth? These are all topics that come up now in the next half year. That's how long an eclipse influence is palpable, and then the next eclipse in autumn will occur and new topics will arise. With this lunar eclipse, we have fixed star markup in the constellation Pegasus with us, and I'll show you in the chart. You can find markup here. Markup and Skeet, they are both parts of the constellation of Pegasus, the winged horse. In this case, Markup is opposing Moon, and Markup star system, fixed star, is asking us to find mental clarity, to also invites us to spiritual foresight and the reconnection to higher fields of knowledge. And this is the higher octave of what I've been talking about. It is the lunar eclipse is talking about our relationship to the physical realm, and Pegasus is questioning or asking us about our relationship to the spiritual realm. And we are now asked to bring both of those energies together and heal. The question here is, what can you let go of now to bring more clarity and serenity in your life? And that is through healing your 5 bodies, the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and galactic body. The second highlight event in March will be the Spring Equinox on 20th of March 2025. And of course, I'm going to talk more about this in next week's report. I am also talking about this in my Spring Equinox celebration that's happening on 22nd of March. If you haven't signed up yet, I invite you to do so. We will celebrate Spring Equinox, the astrological new year that is flanked by the 2 eclipses and makes it even more powerful this year. Because the transition of Sun to 0 degrees Aries marks the beginning of the new astrological year, and this year it's ruled by Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, and harmony. And I'll show you where this is going to happen in the chart. Of course, I will cast the chart next week again. So we have Sun here in Pisces still, but it is going to move towards Aries here. And next week on Friday, it will be here at the cusp of Aries, marking 0 degrees Aries, and therefore the astrological new year. I'll stop sharing now, and I will talk more about Spring Equinox. Spring Equinox is always or marks every year a cosmic impulse of creation, because the beginning of spring brings deep renewal. It activates our universal wisdom, and it opens a very powerful door for healing and spiritual awakening. So with this week's energy or today's energy, we are invited to take a really clear look on where we need to heal in order to step into the new year of more and more spiritual awakening. And I will talk about this in a second a bit more. So next week, a moment of new beginnings, of clarity, and also alignment with our soul's journey. Again, with the spring equinox, we have another fixed star from in the constellation of Pegasus with us. In this case, it's Skeet or Shead. It is a reminder of our cosmic origins and the connection between heaven and earth. So Skeet or Shead is showing us that we are the bridge between heaven and earth, between vision and manifestation, and we are always able to embody both of those principles in our own lives. So what vision would you like to bring into the world for this new year? And I ask specifically into the world, not only for your own life, but for all of us, the collective, because more and more we are stepping into this unified field of consciousness. And when we are active, we are not only active for ourselves, we are active for the collective. And this is highlighted even more with the partial solar eclipse in Aries on the 29th of March 2025. So in 2 weeks' time, we have the solar eclipse, always following the lunar eclipse. And this will be in conjunction with the North lunar node in Aries. And it will mark a turning point in our relationships and our individual expression in these areas of our lives. It challenges us to rethink old relationship dynamics and to clearly recognize which connections support us on our path of transformations and which we are now finally able to let go and leave behind because they are not supporting us on our highest divine timeline, let's say. This eclipse is also the culmination of 2 years of learning about self-empowerment and conflict, both on a personal and collective level. And boy, do we need a learning experience on a collective level for sure. It is a turning point in our relationships, our self-empowerment, and also our light work we do. But this time, the darkness when sun is obscured by moon from our Terran point of view, it also brings a deeper message because sun is in conjunction with reticulum star system, Alpha Reticuli in particular, and it is activating our memory codes and also higher knowledge from a galactic point of view. Reticulum means net in Latin. It is a symbol for interweaving and connection, but it is also for limitation and maybe even imprisonment in the matrix. So the eclipse in 2 weeks' time could signal the end of the matrix or the beginning of a new one. It is for us to choose. Perhaps we are also experiencing an entanglement of the strands of light and harmonization of what has long been disharmonious in us and around us. And the energy can now vibrate again in its original flow. Or do we like to remain entangled in old relationships, in everything that is not supporting us in moving into higher states of consciousness? Again, it is up to us to decide where we want to go. I will talk about this and the star families of the Greys and the Essassani in the Galactic report in a fortnight's time. And until then, I invite you to recognize yourselves as architects of light. How can you weave your energetic web? What frequencies are you sending out, and what frequencies are you letting in your system? And can you embrace the shadows with compassion and forgiveness without losing yourselves in them? These are all questions that come up with the solar eclipse. And now is the time to courageously stand up for yourself, and where you can develop more trust in your soul's journey if you are still questioning that. So it is all about healing the old wounds and connecting with the wisdom of the universe. These eclipses will help us to find our inner order and free ourselves from anything that is no longer in harmony with our highest truth. I would like to refer to this with an interesting topic that I found last week that is connected to light and consciousness, because light was converted into suprasolid matter for the first time. Supersolidity, I had to look it up, is a quantum mechanical state of matter in which a body is both solid and liquid at the same time. Researchers have now produced such a body from light for the first time. This is interesting because it also reflects back on the eclipse season and the astrological new year, where we are always at a threshold. We can either be in one state or in the other state. It is our decision. That is the quantum reality into which we are stepping now. So we are with the eclipses, in a way, stepping into a supra solidity, this quantum mechanical state of matter that simultaneously exhibits both properties of solid and superfluid bodies. And that is what I've been talking about. It is a decision we can make. And especially with light being converted into a body, into a material form and into a fluid form for the first time, is really extraordinary. In the spiritual realm, we have been talking about this for millennia. We have always said that we are spiritual beings that bring in the light and manifest it in physical form. And now scientists have actually proven this to be true. Not that we needed that proof, we knew already, but it is still interesting that science is now catching up to that fact. The scientists, and I quote them from the Institute of Nanotechnology of the Consiglio Nazionale delle Ricerche in Lecce, say we have actually turned light into a solid. That's pretty impressive. So you're all very impressive because you've been doing this your whole life, and I hope you're still doing it now. And more so as the Schumann resonance is showing this increased influx of light energy, because it was offline for 24 hours, right as the energies before the lunar eclipse started ramping up. And the Schumann resonance normally shows that. In that case, it just went offline. So you can imagine how much energy was coming in. Or was it down for maintenance? Or was the overload of energy due to the technical equipment that is not able to handle the new paradigm. Um, our technical equipment is supposed to work in 3D, not 4D, for sure not in the quantum state. As far as I know, we do not have the technology yet. And we could go down this rabbit hole for sure. I will not do that now. But the Schumann resonance is, it doesn't matter if it shows exactly what's going on. It is reflecting what we are experiencing, not only what the electromagnetic grid of the Earth is doing, but also what we are doing. The more light we embody, the higher the frequency on this planet. Because we are surrounded by high vibrational energies at all times now. We've been saying that we are in a transition period, and yes, we've been in a transition period for many years now. It's not over yet. On the contrary, we are hypercharged like never before. The ether is showing that, and we are in an unprecedented energetic storm. The blood full moon, the spring equinox, and the solar eclipse are accelerating the collective shift. We are in a supra-solid state now, and the magnetic force is amplifying all frequencies. It is shaking the 3D matrix, and it is propelling awakened souls forward into rapid transformation. That's why it's so important to listen to the message of this lunar eclipse. Do you really take good care of your bodies? Do you really take good care of your health, spiritually, physically, mentally? And are you aware of where areas of healing still need to be taken care of? Because the blood moon reveals shadows and unresolved karma. And the spring equinox ignites rebirth and realignment, but it is only possible if we are choosing wisely where we want to go. Because those clinging to fear and outdated paradigms face upheaval, while those embodying higher consciousness magnetize reality at record speed now. So detoxing the body, the mind, and the soul and our energy fields is key and really non-negotiable any longer, because our vessels must be clear to hold higher frequencies. We are at the point where we are dissolving false identities and attachments, and more and more something is occurring that Dolores Cannon has been talking about many, many years ago, a bifurcation of realities. And those aligning with the new Earth will ascend into higher timelines. That's what they say. I do not so much resonate with that term, but we are creating new Earth. And although we still do not know how this looks like, so we are heading into this direction. And those resisting all of that change will remain in old cycles. It is inevitable. And so it is really, really important to understand that where you focus your energy determines your trajectory. So it is more than ever important to master your frequency, because your reality, but also our collective reality, depends on it. And that is what the message of the portal of the eclipses is telling us, where we are at. We have stepped over the threshold. We are in this portal of change, and there is no way turning back. It's just forwards, and it is up to us to decide in which direction we want to step and walk on. I hope you're with me on the trajectory of New Earth, and I wish you all a very, very beautiful blood moon, full moon, lunar eclipse day. And I hope to see you next week for the next Galactic report, and hopefully for the New Year's ceremony. Until then, I hope you're doing fine, and all the best for all of you. Bye bye.